everyone, this is Matt from Ormsby Guitars. I'm here with Clint Tustin. He's one of our artists. He's from the band Carousel Kings, and he's currently on tour with Galactic Empire, filling in for the Red Guard. And he's just on the road with us right now. Hiya, Clint.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, mate. So, where are you at the moment?
I'm currently in Houston, Texas. We're on like the second half of the tour. Just wrapping it up. It's a U.S. tour. We've been out for about like 2.5 weeks right now, but it's going awesome.
I heard you've had a pretty nice experience in terms of, well, I've seen on your Instagram especially, you've had some pretty nice green rooms and other facilities, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been like, they're at the point where they do like a tour bus. We're sharing a tour bus with the other band. And the venues have been, it's been like on average 500 people, like, packed room. And then we played a few bigger venues, so that's just like a total blast. I'm like stoked to have that experience. Like, can't complain playing to a packed room. And everyone in the band's super tight, so we're just, ripping it live on these tours, and it's a blast all around, yeah.
Wow, man. And have you found out any details of like the highest capacity crowd that you've had so far?
I think it would be the one show we played had like 800 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for modern standards.
And I'm not sure what it was last night, but we played this place in Dallas called Gas Monkey Live, and it was like a 3,000 cap room. And we weren't originally supposed to play that big of a room, but they moved us to that one, and it was pretty full. I'm not sure how big it was, but yeah, it was rad. And
you had a really fancy, lighting system there or something, didn't you, as well?
Oh, yeah. It was insane. It was like they had crazy light facility, and the lighting tech was just a beast. So, took a little bit of video with my camera that I should be incorporating into some videos for them for Galactic, like little tour wrap-ups. But if you look at the footage, it's like probably if you've ever seen like a Meshuggah light show or something, it kind of reminded me of that. Like, it's got like the insane level like lasers and stuff. So it was sick.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty formidable, man. And how's it been touring with the guys in Galactic, man? I mean, they all seem like pretty top blokes.
Oh, yeah. It's, I mean, we're kind of all from the same... It's, like, weird, everyone's like, how did you meet them and whatever, and it just kind of happened, because Grant and Carson, who played drums and bass, respectively, in the band, they are producers from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They run a studio called Atrium Audio, and Carousel Kings recorded with them. I kind of like interned with them doing like studio stuff, and then like that's kind of how the other members in Galactic are involved too. We kind of just all were involved with their studio in some way or another, and they started doing this project, and it just kind of it was kind of a joke, and then it got way more attention than they thought it would, and now we're touring, so it's super fun.
Yeah, it's certainly blowing up. I mean, living myself here in the UK, just seeing like all the future festivals the boys are going to be hitting. Unfortunately, not with you, but still, killer for them. It's pretty amazing. And you've had a pretty special guitar on this tour that we got over to you, or something that people have been wanting for a while. I mean, how's the Goliath GTR been holding up? Pretty good?
Oh, so good, man. It's amazing. I think when I first picked it up, I mean, I guess I saw you just had some snaps of the Goliath, so I'm sure you had a similar experience, but you, like, pick the thing up, and it's, like, feels like a feather, like, it's so light, and, like, which is very nice for, like, I don't know, especially, like, a 7-string or, like, an 8-string. It can be, like, a little on the bulky side, depending on what kind of guitar you get, but, like, the lightness and, like, the neck profile is just so good. I don't know, it's something about it was just felt right to me. So between those two things off the bat, I was like, wow, this thing rips. And then like for my parts in the band, I'm playing in drop G, and I'm using like all 7 strings, and like there's some lead esque parts, even though I'm playing rhythm. So it's like just like the multi-scale, like with the I guess it's a 27.8 on the low G string. It's just, you know, killing it as far as like the note and everything, like how well everything's coming through, and I can still do some nice like vibrato and stuff on the upper strings. It's working out.
Oh, that's great to hear, man. Because I guess you're about the only person in the world that's got a GTR version at the moment that's actually, you know, got it out on the road, and it's quite, for us, man, it's a great little road test, you know, to have you out there. And the hardware, I mean, we're obviously super impressed with the hardware, but how have you found, like, you know, tuning it up? Everything's pretty smooth, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was the first time I have ever had like a headless guitar. Like, you know, I've dealt with like Floyd Roses before, but nothing exactly how this one is. So I think the first time I strung it, you know, I was like, oh, okay, let me figure this out real quick. But it wasn't too bad. And as far as like now, I've restrung it a couple of times, and it's super quick. And yeah, I mean, tuning stability's been great. Really haven't even thought about it, like haven't had to worry about it. And yeah, the hardware definitely feels top quality. You know, like you bolt down the locking peg at the end. It's like if you have cheap metal, you can feel it like kind of stripping or something, but it feels great. So no problems.
Excellent, dude. And you've been flashing it around a bit. I saw a photo of you on your story, I think on Instagram the other day. You had it at the merch desk and stuff. Have you had any people playing it or any reactions otherwise?
Yeah, I've had a ton of people asking about it. Like, it's kind of crazy. We've had like a bunch of bands that, you know, I look up to coming out to the shows, just like hitting us up like, hey, you guys guest list us for the show. Like, the other night there was a band called The Contortionists.
Oh.
That a few of those guys, they were on tour, they had an off day, and they came to see our show. And then like Darkest Hour came out the other day, and I think one of the guys from Five Finger Death Punch came out or whatever. But I've had a few people, you know, musicians, and then also just people that were at the show who are musicians themselves, asked like, usually it's like, what kind of guitar is that? And then it's usually like, how do you play those frets, man? Like, you know, the classic, like, I get that a lot with like the multi-scale stuff, and, you know, just tell them it's not really, it's like surprisingly kind of similar to normal scale as far as playing goes, but yeah.
Oh, great, man. So you guys, your main band, Carousel Kings, you guys have got a bit of a UK and Euro tour, or is it just UK at the moment?
I think it's just UK at the moment. I think there's plans to maybe extend it a little bit to mainland Europe. Yeah, just cool. Since we're over there. So
you guys are just doing that. Is this a precursor in the sense you guys are gearing up to get back into the studio to do another album in sometime this year, or is it just more you haven't hit the place and you've been doing some promo, or just more building your fan base, or just working hard and touring hard?
Yeah, well, we've been getting requests through our manager to go to the UK, and we turned it down a bunch of times just because of, you know, financially getting over there and whatever. It didn't make sense, but you know, we're really stoked to go over there now. It just seemed like the right time, and I think that it seems like pop punk scene is pretty good over there in the UK. So hopefully the shows are killer, and we'll be, you know, we're gearing up for the next album too. We've been writing a bunch.
So what's the direction? Because I mean, I noticed in your most recent album, certainly as it progresses, you know, the pop punk sort of elements really quite strong towards the, you know, start to the middle, and then, you know, sort of, I hope I'm describing it right in the simplest of terms, just sort of more of your real technical sort of stuff starts to come into it as the album progresses. Is that indicative of where you're going in future, or is that just kind of how the album at that point evolved, and that's just how it will be, and you'll pick up on your pop punk roots further?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to hear you say that. You know, it's always interesting to hear what the objective opinions are about like the album and stuff. And I mean, I can say honestly that I the only thing I actually contributed to Charm City was the solo of Homestrung, because I came into the band like around the time it was done, and they were just kind of doing some overdubs and stuff. But Will, the other guitar player, wrote most of the songs on the record, and he's just a great player.
Yeah.
He like is really into like, I mean, even though it's a pop punk band, he's super into like Animals as leaders and like a bunch of kind of more technical guitar style music, and so some of that kind of bleeds through. Even though he's like grew up on like Blink-182 and stuff, he still like tries to throw some guitar flair in there, which definitely makes it fun for me, for sure. So I'm sure the next album will have like, we love pop music, so we're gonna try and make catchy songs, but and not try and be too crazy with guitar stuff. But wherever we can to spice it up, we'll be trying to do that. Yeah.
Sick, man. There's my ignorance about your band, knowledge about your band showing up in the pure and open, but we'll leave that edit in. That's awesome, dude. Now, I've also noticed as well, like, you picked up some new camera gear and you're just going hard on the video sort of side of things and photos and stuff. And as somebody who's done a lot of photo work over the years, and knows how hard it can be to really, get along with. You've really picked things up well, man. I mean, have you had sort of training in that before, or you just kind of like a lot of the young crew these days get on YouTube, suss out some great techniques? What's your background?
That's it, man, and it's been super gratifying. I don't know, like I guess the first thing I did that with was recording, like probably 3 years ago. I was like, all right, I'm going to start messing with this. And it was a pretty steep learning curve for me. I mean, I can kind of make stuff sound decent now, but it's still like, I always like listen back. I'm like, all right, that's not as good as I want it to be. But with the photography, I got my camera in like September. And I got someone throwing rocks at me right now. Sound guy messing with me. I picked up my camera back in September and kind of started messing around with it, and then went on that Europe tour with Galactic. I did a lot of just going around different cities that are awesome, like Paris and Amsterdam. I was like, all right, I'm going to take pictures, and I guess I got a little better with it there, but like you said, it's pretty much just like I'll look up something on YouTube, specifically what I want to do, and just figure that out right there, and then like kind of just fill in the rest as I go along. But yeah, it's been super fun. I guess I just did a bunch of research on the type of camera rig that would be best, and found videos of like, all right, like, I saw the video and I'm like, all right, I like how that looks. I think I could make that work. Got that exact setup, and just like from there, it's just been trying to get better with the lighting and like the angle of the shots, and like just trying to kind of imagine the video as a finished product before I even start shooting it. I just try and map it out, and then usually turns out better that way. So, but it's been an awesome time for sure.
All right, that's quite an. I like your philosophy, I like your approach. That's impressive, dude. I think that sort of reverse engineering-ish kind of way to it all is really cool. I know Theo, when we were at NAMM together, Theo and I were talking. You gave him some advice on. Was video production, I think it was, or something like that? No, yeah. And I was amazed. Well, he
said, he's like, man, like, any tips or whatever? And I'm like, dude, I straight up just watched this. Mainly, I would say watch this one dude's channel, this guy, Peter McKinnon. He's a YouTuber. Oddly enough, he's only been at it for like 9 months or 8 or 9 months. His channel's been up, and he's got like, I don't know, over 1.5 million subs, because his channel is just like top notch, just like super good quality production, and like really good like tutorials, and like, so I definitely like got a lot of progress just through his tips. And then I started searching other channels too, but I think his was like the most instantly gratifying or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Your little titles and stuff, and the quirkiness, the toonish ways, and you did all your overlays, especially on that recent, was it Polyphia? Cover you did. That was class, mate. I'm like, how did you do that? That's cool, man. That's someone I'll be checking out for sure, personally. All right, man. Well, that's all really great stuff to hear. So anything else on your cards creatively, man? I know you've done some stuff doing like, what do you call it, for Google and stuff, making tracks. You got any?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that all treating you? You got any other things in the works otherwise, creatively?
Yeah. So, I mean, my main thing, as soon as I get back from tour, my main thing is probably going to be doing more guitar videos. It'd be great to get some consistency going as far as like doing like a video a week. That's been like the only tough part for me is like getting quick with it. So hopefully I can crack down on that and like be a little more consistent with like my releases and stuff. I'll be going hard on that, and then I'll be meeting up with the Carousel Kings boys for the tour and everything. But let's see, other new stuff. Yeah, the YouTube stuff is super fun. If you go to like YouTube has like a royalty-free music library that you just if you make a YouTube video, you can use any of the songs that are up there.
Mm.
And I contributed like 4 at this point. They're all like kind of in the metal style, and it's kind of like an intro to like sound design stuff. Like eventually, like the guy I work for does music for like TV shows and like the NFL and like WWE and stuff. So like I think eventually that would be a fun thing to do. Just making like cheesy metal tracks for like WWE or something. It would be fun.
See.
That's kind of where I'm going with that. But yeah, I think it's going to be mainly just working on guitars. Super hard when I get back. The other guitar player, one of the other guitar players in Galactic, CJ Machinato, is like a beast, and we've just been jamming a bunch. And I think we'll probably be moving in with each other back in Lancaster and just trying to get our shred chops up.
See.
Just try and bust out some good stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm headed at the moment.
Great, man. So as a guy who's got a Goliath GTR and an SX GTR, I'm just jumping back, as you're an A&R kind of guy, mate. You've got the two very distinctively different guitars now. I had a fair bit of experience. Ideal guitar, what would you have as a combination of things from your experience now? Or are you just happy with like what you're rolling with at the moment?
I mean, I guess I haven't gotten to compare them too much. The SX seems like a little more scooped sounding than the Goliath, I think. But they both have like a sick variety of tones. I think that's like one of my favorite things about the guitars is like, and even Grant and Carson, they've been like commenting on it on tour because like during sound check or whatever, like I'll start doing some like coil tap stuff with the Goliath, just jamming, and they're like, damn, like that guitar sounds dope, because it's like you can get some really crazy different sounding tones. So that's pretty sweet. I love that. I love being able, of course I love like just the like Eddie Van Halen kind of bridge humbucker sound, just be able to like rip some metal. But I really missed having that single coil attitude. When I used to play Les Paul before I got my Ormsby guitars, and I definitely, like, as soon as I got that SX, I was like, all right, I missed having a single coil neck pickup for some like style. So definitely some single coil attitude. Love that in an ideal guitar. And I don't know why, but I just love like obnoxious 80s guitars. So anything like super flashy, like bright colors, just like just kind of ridiculous looking guitars. I love that stuff. Super shred, kind of obnoxious looking stuff.
Well, that's good to hear, man. You'll be pleased to know that that's definitely, we'll be getting more and more of that stuff, as I think Perry's, from what he's shown me in terms of plans for stuff for the future, and he's just living out a lot of ideas and planning them for the near future. Plus, as you're privy to a lot of information in our little artist discussions, and we've got a fair few nice things on the horizon. So I'm sure you get a bit more variety to choose from, should you wish. That's awesome, man. Look, I'll probably have to say my goodbyes and adios to you, man. Like, that's been so nice to hear from you, and this to everyone who listens to this right now. You know, this is our first time actually, Clint and I having a chat formally.
Yeah.
So,
I'm stoked to chat.
Yeah, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here in the UK. Like, I think I've got you penciled in for the 28th of April, which is, I can't remember the location. I basically just look at what's kind of close to where I am and go from there. And that's a Saturday gig, so if that means there's Saturday night that follows afterwards, that should be a good time.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Clint. You keep on rocking, man. I hope the tour continues to go finish up well, man, and we'll chat again soon, all right?
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Take care, man. Stay safe.